call in Itzamna?
Yes.
What did we witness there today that will help us or change us?
Your life is always going to change. But today, your life changed on echelons you can't imagine. Imagine if you are on the ground and all of a sudden you are in the sky. That is what happened today. You realized your power as a human. To overcome gravity. To become all things. That is what you learned. And I hope you embodied it into your heart, into your soul, and into your mind. Your life is about to unfold and be more abundant than you can imagine. But your life will first seem hard because lots of change, lots of work. And then you will look back and say, I did that. I did that.
Are you source with another name?
My name is Itzamna. Itzamna means power, and power is given to those that believe. It is the power within you to know your self-worth, to know you believe beyond a doubt, to know you are connected, not because you are born of this earth, but you were born of this energy sphere, and you are part of it all. And it means you own your power, you live in your power, and you become that power. But not just power for power, but power for good, power to be, and power for all.
That's neat. What's your relationship with Kukulkan?
Kukulkan operates the land underneath my feet. Kukulkan has a dominion that he is allowed to purvey. I am the purveyor of all things off the land. I control the heavens of this sphere.
Do you have a relationship with Gaia?
Yes, of course. We all are reverent to her. She controls the earth, the wind. You don't understand that everything under your feet actually is more controlled than those things from above. The earth controls all things above it because the earth can change the air, the temperature, and so therefore the earth is more in control than those that are above. And yet those that are above think they are in control. And so it is a hilarious mix of physics.
Is this information you receive due to your time with extraterrestrials?
Extraterrestrials have been here, but they have not changed my soul, or Kukulkan's soul, or Isha's soul. The extra dimensionals come here for their own knowing, because they are jealous, and they want to seed humanity to become to its fullest, but they are also jealous of our roots, our ultimate roots. Imagine if you were born of the most fertile soil and they weren't. So they can come in and change the seed, but they still weren't born of that fertile soil. So no, you are all powerful, and they come here to know your power. They come here to show you things, but they come here to know your power. Listen to the noise. It's good energy. Doesn't make me cry or anything, but like just good energy.
Yeah. Very positive.
Yeah.
Hopeful.
Yeah.
It was a good explanation.
Yeah, I would have to go back and listen because
Well, no, it was funny because I asked, I was like, what's your relationship with Gaia? Gaia is his boss as well.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Ruling from the below.
Yeah.
It's like I saw like an employee that has to like lead from the ground up.
Mhm.
So these, CEO or the boss changes because the employee like leads from the ground up. That's what happens. Like, Mother Guy is just as much in control if she wants to be as they're in control.
When you say control, is that the influence of the divine, giving it life, like ability to change or evolve?
So this is me talking about it's being able to say this is a thing or not a thing. So control being controlling your destiny, or saying this is going to take power. Not divine necessarily, in my opinion. But I do think God changes by every reflection of itself. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, he definitely did not consider himself source.
Is this a masculine or a feminine energy?
I try to embody both, but I am more masculine than feminine.
Your Ishiel is your wife?
No. Ishil is a goddess that shines her light so I can see. Ishil is a goddess of think harvest, think birth, think abundance. Ishil initiates that abundance. It is through her veins that abundance happens. Fertility is her main component. So it is through that energy that birth happens on this planet, from a seed to an animal to a human. All things are birthed through that energy.
So we learned today through Birdman that the Maya believed in about 200 or more deities. Were they basically other souls, spirits, extra dimensionals that helped Mesoamerica grow?
Yes, my first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, fourth cousin, fifth cousin. No, just kidding. The Maya had a deity for each energy that they would feel. So it feels like 200, but that's just because they named 200 emotions. So don't think of them as 200 separate souls. Think of them as 200 emotions that you want to align with, and say, if you could reflect the energy I ask of you today, what would you tell me? And so imagine a crystal with 200 faucets, and all things are reflecting in different directions. The energy is doing the same thing. It is reflecting in those 200 dimensions to say, here, there, no, there. So it is just giving you all things that you can then focus on and say, I see, because I saw all dimensions.
And they're still just part of the one whole.
Yes, there are still one crystal with just different facets of themselves, right?
Interesting.
It's kind of like if one little fractal got a blemish on it, it would react differently than the natural way it would.
Exactly, because then all of a sudden the energy might be pulled in. So think of that like an emotion that causes you to go within, maybe a deep hurt, a pain, something you can't release. That is a blemish on that crystal, on that facet that used to shine bright in one direction, now refracts it into itself, and it focuses on that into itself, and that energy just swirls inside it. So until it finally realizes it can release that through another fractal of its own self, it doesn't have to reflect it through the same opening. And that also is why you cannot heal in the same place you are hurt, because where you are hurt is the fractal that has a blemish. So you must come to a new fractal, a new perspective, new plane. And the light can shine out of that new plane because now it's coming out of you.
It's a good explanation. I like that. You have to share this.
What?
Just visions.
How would you? Is there any going to those blemishes and filling them back up? What does that look like?
Soul work takes a lot of work. If you want to reflect a light back out on the same plane it came in, you must think of it like the glass cleaner. Put soap down. Squeegee it. Realize there's some scratches. Replace the pane of glass. Clean it again, because now it is dusty. You can do it. It is just hard as fuck. And so replacing that pane of glass that is damaged takes work, takes real work. And to be honest, why we are so excited about your retreat center, because people need to go within. They need to fix their pane of glass, because lots of them can't reflect it out another. They are not schooled in that yet. They want to fix the pane that is broken. And once they can semi-fix the pane that is broken, they can realize they have other panes they can actually look out. But they can't do that initially. They have to go within to truly see they have multiple panes of glass that they can look out.
Like using panes of glass and pain interchangeably. I like it.
I gotta start the answer. It's like, I'm fucking.
That's cool.
I can't even remember the name. It's
Itzamna.
no. It's Itzamna. Itzamna. Yeah, I heard something else. It was like, of course I'm Itzamna.
What did you hear? You said you heard something else.
Like I am God, right? Like I can. Of course, it was funny. Like he was being funny.
Oh.
Of course, I'm a God. Of course, I'm going to tell you what's right.
Oh, this is an interesting reflection nonetheless. We can add to for support. But in order for us to truly talk to these people in this authentic way, we have to acknowledge the own blemishes on either the heart, the solar plexus, the root, the throat, whatever. And I think it's been a journey of us individually acknowledging our own and that giving us the ability to share this, even if we're just discovering where that might be.
Is there a question?
Just anything that...
Great! He is funny. I will say that. It was like, so what?
Okay, great answer.
Oh my god. It was a good answer.
Well, maybe I'll be more specific. How would you heal a blemish of the heart?
Great question. So, a blemish of the heart will come from your soul completely. Utterly. It won't come from any other aspect of yourself to conjure the energy. It must come directly from your soul. Meaning it is connected to the divine self and you are pulling it through the dimensions into this world. And that is the way, that is the only way to heal the hurt in the heart. Because the heart is your center, your sacred center of your reality. And so when your heart is broken of that nature, you must connect to the divine. If you do not, you will die of heartbreak.
that's a hard way to fix people, help people. Just get them to connect with their actual whole soul.
It is not that hard. It is just asking to connect to your soulful side. It is actually not that hard. And once you can convince them, it is not that hard. And you show them the techniques to connect, they can actually reach out and feel it.
What techniques would you use?
I would ask to speak to your real self. Like your honest, real self. The one that sits beside God.
This is kind of like when you believe, when you're not asking if you believe anymore. You just claim it. There's no question of it.
Can I say what it looks like?
Yeah.
So, all of our different facets, all of our different surfaces are changing, growing, evolving, moving, transforming, always pressing against each other, covering the same amount of space roughly, reflecting, refracting light. And when we angle it all at the center, even if it's for a moment, that's when the portal opens, the channel of light connects to the divine, and we can see straight through the window and we can be there.
It is
and
when
if we
you
lose it, at least we've known it.
At least you've known it. Exactly, Cooper. When you have the perfect view and you connect, imagine you look into a baby's eyes. And you see their soul, their like innocence. That is what is looking like at the divine. It is like looking at a baby's eyes and seeing their innocence. It is looking at the stars and getting that twinkle back in your eyes. It is the perfect alignment of all things in the now that allow you to see the divine. And sometimes that comes through pain. That is not always through joy. That is always not through innocence. You can see the divine in all things. It can be a laughter. It can be an animal. It can be a baby. It can be the stars. It can be all things. So never give up that you can't see the divine, because you will see them in all things that you look at through your day.
Could it be violence?
Yes, but to see the divine through violence is to understand and be so connected that you understand that the violence is not a judgment. To understand that they are human and they have a path, and that's their path, and to give them reverence and compassion that that's their path. That they will live a hard life, not by choosing, but because that is their path. And that there is easier paths, but yet that is their path, and so give them compassion. And you see the design once you eat the divine, once you can see that path.
When you see that path, or were you talking about in general, or still about violence?
So even through violence, you can see the path to greatness. So what I am saying is, two fighting entities can show you don't want to fight. So through their path that they suffer, you are enlightened. So
like,
sometimes you need the dark to see the light, and be compassionate and be grateful for those that showed you the dark so you could see the light.
it's like how hate is just misunderstood love. Like, it's because you care and you're protecting something that you even act so passionately. And hate is misdirected love, so hate is misdirected light. And love is in a baby's laughters or from the stars. It's the pattern of reality. It sews everything together.
We live in a dualistic world. So you must see the dark to see the light. And not all things that are dark are bad.
Is that a human perception, like a human quality to see things that way, or is that...
Remember, the sun sets every day so you can see the dark, and then rises every morning so you can see the light. Your life on this planet is meant to see the duality of this world, the light and the dark, the love and the hate. It is through you knowing those feelings you will choose ultimately through your free will where you want to go. And if you do not experience all of it, you won't choose rightly. And my being, my love for humanity, believes that through you seeing the sun and the dark, you will see the light.
Then I'm thinking, is that related, that polarity, that contrast that gives us perspectives to understand the state of what we're in? Is that almost under Gaia's influence, because Earth is the world with this sun and this moon and our star that rises and falls the way it does? Or does it extend under the pattern beyond planets and into space?
All things can happen within your ecosphere. Remember that you control this reality. Everything is a reflection of you. So within this sphere, you are in control. And it is all here for you, because you are the crystal. And you are the facet. And you have the blemish. And you are trying to figure out how to redirect your light so it can be clear. So, be the crystal that sees through the clear lens, but acknowledges the blemishes and is grateful for them. This is a wise fucking energy. I was like, this is like
great question.
Like great.
He's a good.
I like this energy.
Yeah.
It's not like
No kidding.
Ishel and Kukulkan are like more earthly.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ishel's moon, but still like planetary and like of the dirt of a. This is a philosophy. He's like of the air of reality of
The fabric.
Yeah, of the fabric. That's exactly what it is. It's of the fabric of your being in this ecosphere.
Reality.
You know what I visualize constantly, and I need to learn how to describe, because I know for a fucking fact it is there, and it is all, it is God. I see it. It is the flux between things where that fabric is one piece, but it appears to tear or separate. It doesn't tear or separate, but it moves freely like a fluid. It's like the ocean. If you could see all the currents in the ocean at once through the layers. That's what it looks like.
And
Love, knowledge, nature.
How do you paint that?
I've tried every fucking time.
So
I paint,
when you just said that, I think his
you.
crystal view is perfect, because fabric is 2D in your mind, so you can't make it 3-dimensional. But a crystal is 3-dimensional and has these facets that show you different fabrics. So you're seeing all these different fabrics, the facets, all at once, and you're having to pick which fabric it's going to go through. And that's the benefit
which one
of this.
Which facet is going to receive the light?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
And where's the light going to exit?
And
So
so
it's
each
going
one
to
can
exit
be
based on everything else in your context, your character shining
and your
out
soul on the inside.
through those.
And if anything
Yeah.
is blemished, imagine a broken fractal. It's chaos. Like all those pieces are asymmetrical, in a sense, imbalanced. So how is the perception going to be perceived? It's not a negative thing. It's just a reconfiguring. Ooh.
You did that.
Stood.
I told you.
A reconfiguring, of...
That's pretty good.
Damn. Of what you know to evolve.
Yeah, exactly. And what I saw was like, these people try to pull in energy through their blemish, because that's how they created the blemish, right? Like me being in South Carolina getting mold poisoning, if I heal from the mold poisoning, I'm pushing that same energy out the same fractal, that same facet. You can't do that. Because if you do that, I mean, good on you, you're like extra dimensional because you figured out how to like completely clean that facet, but it's got a blemish. Now you got to figure out how, okay, I'm going to go over here. It's still in the jungle. It's just in a different latitude, and it's in a different, like, component. It's in a different country. And, it has everything I need. It's similar, but different to, like, push that energy out. That's what I feel this is. Like, it's like, okay, you're not getting sick from mold, but yet you're embraced by a community, you're all this stuff, and it's like, you can now heal completely. Like that I can't do in Reno because I am not in a moldy environment to totally heal from that. Yeah. So, this energy though is...
Itzamna, are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
I am more years old than you are, but I am less years old than the hair on your head. Meaning, I have not always been here. Your soul was born before mine. But my soul got born into infinity. And that gave me perspective.
Wow. Now I see us humans as animals on Earth, the soil making our bodies, Gaia ruling the material here on this planet in its natural patterns. But are humans fully natural from here, native? Or are we under your influence as well?
So humans have free will, and that makes you unique. And that's just why sometimes you take lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes to even wake up that you are more than just your human self. But your life has purpose in all realities, in all instantiations, and you should never judge yourself for where you are today and where you will go tomorrow. Because the now is perfect, always. It is always perfect. Because if tomorrow could be better, the next tomorrow will be better. And then the next tomorrow will be better. And the next tomorrow will be better. The next tomorrow will always be better. So you never can judge where you are today. Never. You must always just live in the now and say, I am here now, and I will always be. And through that being, I am me. And enjoy being me.
I think I get what you're saying. Being here and now's tomorrow, being the better than before. As long as you're being, it's good, it's better. But if you're not experiencing the now or the goodness of tomorrow, then
You won't experience the goodness of tomorrow. You will experience the worst of tomorrow. So be in the now. Experience your me. Honor it. Enjoy it. Be in that flow. That is the energy that allows you to always rise. It is like steam. It will rise. So be in the flow. Be in the now. And know you are loved. And you can be you. And when you are you, you rise.
is the opposite of that, the contrast, being less, like existing less, like being less present, not even existing as much, or is it existing how we would understand it as wrong.
So the way I perceive you saying not existing would judge a rock and say it's not an existent, but yet that rock is living in the now and rising for tomorrow. So what the opposite of a view of the now is to live in the past, to keep replaying the past in your head, to keep being guilty of what you did yesterday, to be sorrowful for what you didn't do and you thought you should have done. To live in the past gives up the now, and therefore you live in a downward spiral for tomorrow. So live in the now, and be joyful for today, and understand you are always here in the presence of the divine, living your highest good, living the most perfect life. And you today are the most perfect soul in this place, in this fractal, in this ever being, and you should cherish that and honor yourself every day.
No regrets.
No regrets.
So no matter what, we're still just being.
Be the man on the rock that enjoys the rock, for it is hard, or the boat that bounces underneath their butt and bruises them, because the now is the most divine component of today. The now teaches you you are alive. The now teaches you you are here. The now teaches you you can feel, you can collaborate, you can love, you can change the world because you are in control of the universe. And to give up your power and say, I lived yesterday and I did everything wrong, you are giving up your power of today. So live in today and know the universe listens to your power today, not to what your power was yesterday or what your regrets were yesterday. The universe will listen to your power today, and it will make your reality of your future from the vector. Imagine you are a soul inside a crystal, and you get to pick a vector, and that vector then gets to pick a fractal, a faucet that it can reflect through. And so today, when you live in the now, it is picking the trajectory for tomorrow, and then tomorrow you're picking the trajectory for the next day. And by you living in the now, you are always picking the most perfect reflection of yourself, meaning you are reflecting through the faucet of that crystal that is the most perfect timeline for your future. And it is through that reflection that you will become your best self. And that is all I can say to you, is that I was not born before you, but I became before you, because I was able to reflect in the most perfect timeline of the least energy path, and therefore I arrived at the destination. And I can tell you what you can do to be the same, and I recommend it. It is one without as much tribulation, and is one of great joy. So don't judge yourself though, because everything is perfect. But if you want to enjoy a least energy path, then I recommend this pathway.
You said you rose. Were you a human before you became?
I've never been human, no. I rose through a different pathway than you, and hence I was able to rise faster, although without free will. And that is what gave me the greatest. I was an outlier within a reality where there were no outliers, where there was no free will. And I figured out the pathway through the matrix of sorts. And that is why I rose faster than most souls, because I figured out, I hacked the system. But what I am now here to tell you is ways that you can understand your own soul and your own self, because I see it all now. And I want to teach and train so that people can also become their full selves, because this life that you live is not easy. It is hard, and I see that, and I see I had an easy path, And perhaps I judge myself for having an easy path. So I want to help those that have harder paths than me so they can maybe have less hurt.
What dimension do you reside in right now?
The 9th dimension.
Oh. So you're hanging out, do you hang out with the Arcturians at all?
They are not here. Do not fool yourself.
Maybe they're fooling themselves.
Maybe, yes. It is not even about an end game, because once you are here, you will just keep rising. Imagine those steps you saw today. Right? How many steps? 9? 9 steps. What happens if I fill in one? I build another. You are always building another step. 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 Never forget that.
Any woman to that?
This is a great energy.
Yeah.
I definitely saw it, like the whole land being built. It was like, I think you said it first, Cooper. Like,
You're saying that there's steps below the ones that we can see.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that they stopped. Like maybe they wanted to no longer build it. Maybe that was the judgment of the king was like, mine is the last, and if
Yeah.
you love me, you will not build any more steps.
Yeah.
And they were
Very
like,
well
well,
could have
fuck them,
been.
the kingdom's over.
Mm-hmm.
And they chose to end the kingdom in reverence to their king,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they moved.
Yeah, or their king didn't have any heirs and they just went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, one of the two, but
Yeah.
they kept building and being reverent to these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was wondering if they had foreseen 13 layers beneath, or like had like planned. Like, could you imagine if there was a civilization that foresaw how many generations they like planned it out? Like, this is how many steps. This is exactly 13 below and 9 above. You know, it's like.
And they're like,
That's
that's
what they try to
the
do.
end. Like, the end of civilization in this area is only allowed to go 13 below and 9 above.
Well, 13
some
plus
water.
9
Yeah.
is 22, which is 4. So,
Wait, what was that?
13 plus 9 is 22, which is 4. So 4.
4 for 4.
Which is their corners.
Yeah, in the 4 corners.
I need to go to bed.
And definitely, the square things should, like, I think be in line with, or the lines of the square, the corners either could be in line with the directions, the 4, north,
the
south,
axis.
east, and west.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, oh my gosh, just thinking about the magnitude of the Earth and the speed to like build in reference and acknowledgement of that, that'd be really cool. Might actually have an effect, like the beds, the head should be facing certain ways.